That's part one. What I'd like to invite you to do now is to walk up and down this wall and read through some of the students' reflections that they wrote in that moment. And you can also see some of their beautiful art. And then we'll take maybe 5 minutes or so to look at those and just kind of think about that as it reflects, the experience that they've just gone through. And then I want to talk to you about what I learned from and with my valuing colleagues and how that led into the next week of work. So please come on up and make your way up and down. And help yourself to more cookies. Kevin had a good question. They did not know this was going to happen. So when they come into the classroom, they were very surprised. Yes.
They handled it well.
Yeah. Well, that's why I can't do it on the first day of class.
This year already.
Yeah.
Because they all meet.
Yeah. Well, and one of them says that. Yeah. If anybody would like to, I have the article that they had read as well here. But basically it talks about the importance of using exaggerated facial expressions and gestures and environmental supports for the language. The importance of students being integrated and not taken out into other settings. Varying. One of them was native speaker. We have. What's that? Yes. Yeah, that's what I said. And actually, she has to see how to remember person. Because she really. Once you'll see how she gets up and put up too.
No, they're just using some of them just down at the other end through the reflection. There's one.
Yeah, we have one native speaker, a bunch who took between 1 and 3 years in high school but don't really speak it that well, and several who did not understand anything.
So she asked them to create, do a project to create a monster, and then describe the monster. Yeah. So these are the reflections.
Yeah.
And these are the posters that were up in the room that I'm gesturing to throughout the day.
Yeah.
It's really like a project. It's a good, you should do a study engagement. Yeah. With that, actually, like, how did that express?
Although it's funny how I don't know if I included in her excerpt, but one of my most accomplished students who felt really uncomfortable wearing some shoes who's been under the songs also is kind of germaphobic. So when I told them they were going to be playing with her, she was sort of freaking out. She felt much better when she saw that the fit was sealed. Because it just went into a play-doh. I was like, oh, that's a first.
So it'll take maybe another couple of minutes, and then you can take a seat.
Yeah.
Or do we do that proud? So the student at the end who said, today I felt proud to speak in my language. So, as I shared in the introduction, then that Friday, I came to my ability meeting and I said, oh, this is, I just had this experience and I'd love to think about ways to make, because even this, you can see it's not, they're getting at that idea of emotion, but I thought, how can I even make this a little bit more explicit? And so, with my valuing colleagues, we took, actually, I want to say, was it Dina's assignment over in the School of Business?
Yeah,
that we were inspired by?
Circulated
Right. I think it was, yeah. So we were looking at some existing valuing assessments, and they helped me develop this second slide here. So these were the first two slides that I brought to them the next week. So I gave the students their own reflections as an entire set. And I asked them to look back through the entire set and say, well, what themes do you discern? What were our different experiences of this? And then, building off of this other valuing assessment, do you see any moral issues embedded in our simulation? What values that you hold influence your feelings about this experience? And what are our obligations as professionals with ESL teaching and learning? How are these obligations connected to your values and your personal response? Now, I think that that's kind of getting more towards the advanced levels, but I think that's appropriate. So we're sort of doing this continuum of, for beginning teachers, we don't want to completely disembed this from the professional and disciplinary context. And yet we want it to be very centered on their experience of this as learners, and then generalizing from that to how they might serve students in the classroom. So this second half is, I didn't have them do more writing about it, but I pulled together some pieces of our, say, about 25-minute long discussion that get at some of this, and I think that then we can open it up to say, well, what did you see? What did it make you think about? What other improvements might you suggest? But then all the valuing colleagues can sort of chime in too and say what they thought about.